Okay, now let's add the two buttons. So if you go here and type button, you can find a button. And it's right here in the canvas. I'm gonna rename it to, so the first button will be play again, and the second button will be, quit. Of course, we need a text on it. So let's add text. And drag and drop it on this button. You know what? I'm gonna just delete this second button for now. Just gonna be working with this one. So I'm making it a bit bigger, just the way you want it. And let's move it somewhere, maybe right here. And we're gonna anchor it. For example, right here. Actually, now I want to move this a bit. So for the button, we can choose the color. Let's choose something red. Okay, I think that's fine. And now go to the text block and change it. Type play again. Okay, so here is the button. So we have created this first button. Let's add a logic for it. If you select the button here and then scroll all the way down, you can find events. And buttons have a few events, for example, on clicked, on pressed. And in our case, this one on clicked is what we need because we're gonna click this button with a mouse. Let's click here. What it does, it opens the graph inside this widget. So if this button is clicked, we're gonna open level just the way we do with the box that restarts level. We do kind of the same thing with this button. Don't forget to select your level here. Okay, save, compile. Awesome. Now go back to designer and let's add another button. So you can just duplicate it, right click, duplicate. And this is the same button. All you need to do is rename this one. And change the text. So here is this button. Let's move it. Now, for example, to this side. One little thing, maybe I want this button to be a bit bigger. Maybe like this. And I'm gonna do the same for this. Because all the buttons should be one size. It doesn't matter how much text they have on it. And now we need to add logic for this one. We need to select this button and go all the way down to the events. Again, find this unclicked event. And you can see we're again in the same graph part of this widget. So if this button is clicked, what do? We quit game. Yeah, sometimes it's that simple. So we're gonna save, compile. We can go back to the level and play it. Play. Okay, so if you created very big level and you don't want to play a game from the very beginning every time, what you can do, you can escape, and then, for example, you can, if you want to start here, you just right click and then play from here. Okay. Okay, so now we do have the buttons, but we can't click the buttons because where you see I'm moving my mouse, but what I'm doing, I'm just keep moving my game. And I also can play it again. And we're gonna fix that. But first, let's go back to this and move this a bit to the side. And this one, I'm gonna change the anchor. And put this somewhere here. And maybe even here. I don't know. I just want some kind of space between this button and the edges. So what we need to do now, we want to be able to click on these buttons, right? So we need to do two things. First, we need to be able to use the mouse and we want to pause the game when we see this screen. Since it happens with the widget, we're gonna do it here in the widget graph. Let's go a bit higher. You can see that we have a few events. So I'm gonna use this event construct right here. This event is called after the widget is constructed. And so when this widget is constructed, what we want. So first we want to get player controller. And then we're gonna use set input mode UI only node. And this node set up an input mode that allows only the UI to respond to user input. What it means that the game will not respond to your mouse movements or clicks, only the UI. And that's what we want, right? We want to click the button, which is right here in this UI widget. We don't want to interact with the game anymore. We want to interact just with the widget. And that's why we're gonna connect this event construct with this node and connect this player controller with this player controller input. And we want to see the mouse, right? So from this player controller, let's drag and drop like this and type cursor. Right here, we have set show mouse cursor. That's what we need. Connect these two nodes together and we want to show it. So click this checkbox. So now we're gonna see the mouse. And only one thing left, we want the game to be on pause. So let's find pause. Yeah, here it is, set game paused. Again, this is paused right here. We need to click it in order for it to be true. So let's save, compile. Just gonna start my game right here. So we're gonna be here. Okay, so as you can see, we see the sign, we see the mouse. The game is on pause. We can click play again. Let's do it. But after you click play again, you can't play anymore. You don't see the mouse. And right now I'm trying to make the character walk towards, backwards, doesn't matter, jump. He does not react. That's because, let's go back. That's because we need to set input mode. So from this player controller, another branch, set input mode, game only. So now in the game, the input will work, but only if we connect this two nodes together, because this one is the button play again that we click. We click this button, it opens the level, and then we want the input to work. So let's connect those, save, compile, go back to the game. All right, we won. Play again. And yeah, I can play again. Perfect. Now let's try to click quit, and it just quits. Of course, since it's not the finished game, it will not quit to menu. It's just a simple quit from the play mode.